Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round number 5 here of the Formula Racing League. As you can see, we are here in Japan, this 18 corner track, which is about 5.8 kilometers or 3.6 miles for those not in that know. It's one of the all-time classics, if I'm brutally honest. It's changed a little bit over the years, but mostly on safety grounds, and it's kept some of the best parts of the track. Most notably, where we're currently sitting on top of Necromonial Pug is the S-curves. These lovely flowing corners just link beautifully together. You get it right, it feels great. You get it wrong, you're walking back to the pit lane. So yeah, with 17 drivers here today. So it's the third round. Currently top of the championship is SFK 100, or do you call him FK? Of FS. He's top of the league. He's on 62 points. Second place is Necromonial Pug on 58 points. Third place goes to Jumboy. He's down there in the Renault. Noosa is in fourth place. He's on 42 points, so a little bit of gap there. He's in the Red Bull. Fifth place is Anonymous in the Force India. He's not here. Oh, yes, he's there. He's down in 17th at the moment. He is with us today. Sixth place is the Mercedes driver, who isn't here. And then you've got Rainbow in 7th, followed by Gryphus in 8th, Alonso Fan 9th, and Slash LP in 10th. Constructors currently running the roost are the Red Bulls. They're on 100 points. In second, 74 points is Sauber. So let's start on board with Necromonial Pug then, as he's coming round to start a flying lap for you here in Japan. So through the long DRS section into what is called the first turn, but it is actually two corners. A little bit wide there, but he's got it nicely in. And then into these lovely flowing S-curves. So that's turn 3, followed by 4. They just link together so well. As I say, you get them right, they feel great. You get them wrong, you feel like a bit like an idiot. So up through the final part, which is Dunlop Curve. And then into the Degners. First Degner is just a little down into 6th gear, then slightly tighter, turn 9. And then under the bridge, going up through turn 10 into the hairpin. Really technical here, because you're on the wrong side. And it's really hard to get bang on. But accelerating out of that, and then go through a long turn 12. Downhill a little bit, in towards Spoon Curve. Double left-handers. As some of you might remember from this year's F1, not the best place to overtake. And then get your foot on early down this long straight. Uphill as well. As we have our first retiree already in Sector 1. That's probably in the S-curves. And then into, I think it's 130R. Just beautifully through there. Through in the race, they will probably lift a bit. And then into the Casino Triangle. Through the chicane. And then a long right. Quite easy to lose your back end there if you get your power down a little too early. And then into the DRS section, and there you go, that is your flying lap. So Anonymous takes currently P1, he's on the super softs. We have the super softs and mediums here today. It's most likely going to be a one stopper, softs and mediums, but the super softs and mediums is possible, and the time difference between them is not a lot. It's just going to come down to pure tyre management. So let's go have a look at everyone's changing positions, trying to find someone to watch. They'll be coming down at Spoon. He's on the medium, so it's probably just going to be a banker lap. Unless he's going to plan on actually starting on these medium tyres, which will remain to be seen later on. Obviously, top 10 have to keep their tyre choices. Bottom 10 can change about. And with only effectively 6 drivers to put in a time, you're better off putting a time on the lap, on the tyres that you want to actually start on. Ooh, big hit there with the bollards. So see what his time is. Not very competitive. This must just be an outlap because he's well down there. A 1:49.1. He must have made a mistake earlier in that lap. Plopper de Plop coming around Casino Triangle. He is on those super softs and he's coming to the pits. He's not happy with what's happened on that lap. Gryphus down in 17th then. He is also on the medium tyres, coming down turn 12 towards the Spoon corner. Saw a little green flag there. Hopefully it's not someone going off. And going up now, up the hill towards 130R. See how he handles it. It's going to be quite interesting to see how he does on the mediums. Just leaves it in 70. It does go to 8th. No lift. He did run a little. That looked tidy, just. It's on the edge of tidy. Obviously, during the race, they're going to have more fuel in those cars and older tyres, so there might be some lifting going on there. Going to create overtaking opportunities into that chicane. Chicane's changed a little bit over the years. Famously, Alan Prost and Ayrton Senna had a little coming together at that chicane back in, I want to say 1990. I might be 1 year out. And the following year, they had a crash down into turn 1. Setting the championship both times. First time went to Ayrton Senna through a disqualification for... No, sorry, went to Prost through a disqualification to Ayrton Senna. And the year after, Prost lost out in the championship to Ayrton. So, it's an interesting factoid for you. For those who have not been watching F1 for nearly as long as I have, which is probably most people. Noosa coming around the final corner then. The winner last time out in Belgium. He'll be starting a flying lap, so let's go for a wide angle on him then. So as I say, we are on round 5, but it's not a full season because they started quite late and they just want to get the season in. So after this, you've got Italy, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So it's a short season, but hopefully that just means it's going to be really tight racing up till that last race in Abu Dhabi. Noosa's going to be looking to get another win. FSK did DNF last time out. He won the Austria and Germany, so round 1 and 3. The winner round 2 was an acrimonial pug. So he DNF'd in Germany. So it's all up in the air still of who could actually take home a championship here. But there's a little mistake from Noosa. He's made a little mess of that lap and he's off the track as well. So this won't be his flying lap. No, I don't think he's going to continue. He'll probably just cool down, either come in and we'll go again. So, Passanel with a little off there of his own. Coming around the 7th part of Spoon. Let's go on board with him as he gets this 130R. It's a lovely corner this. Very similar to the one in Hungary. Look, obviously he didn't carry as much speed because he did have that off. I think he's going in the pits. No, he's got a fuel red on this screen. It's just going to set a time. And he does a 1:29.9 up to P7 for now. Just have a look at best tyres people have set laps on. As you can see, most of them are super softs with a mix of mediums in there. Rainbow hasn't actually set a time yet. He's put a lap on those softs. So he's obviously invalidated somewhere around this lap. Let's see what he's doing. He's in Mode 3. He might be on another flyer here. So let's stick with him coming up to Spoon corner. Just slightly off the apex there, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Get that power down early, don't run too wide, and he didn't. Nicely done there. So coming up once again to 130R, let's see how he handles it. A little bit wider there on the entry and a little bit wide there at the apex. So it's not going to have carried the ideal line. He's on softs that... yeah, he's coming into the pits. That's probably why it looks a little bit... Oh, he's got away with that, I think. He's gave that wall a mighty clout, and yeah, somehow escaped, I guess, because once you're under control of the pit lane, you're not able to be damaged. Flop then, coming around the Degeners, turn 1, turn 2, nicely taken. Turn 2 is where I think we're going to see a few people make mistakes as well during the race, just getting that power down a little early, lighting up those rears. So now, just done the hairpin, once again heading on down to Spoon Curve. Nice little downhill section in the middle there. And he's a little bit wide. I think he's in Mode 5 and he's got a fuel light on, so whether or not he's going to be setting a time remains to be seen. He's not actually set a time yet. He's going to need to set one as we've got 8 minutes left of this session. Anonymous still on pole position. And Pidar in the Mercedes on P2. As Anonymous goes even faster with the 127 dead. Increasing that gap to second place by 1.2 seconds. That is a massive margin. Flop does put in a time, not massively competitive, but it is still a time, leaving him long enough to get back to the pits, get a new set of tyres on and go again. So let's have a look then at, let's go up to the top. Let's see Jumboy He's had a good season so far, 6.6 second. So puts him on 42 points. He's third in the championship. Be looking to upgrade those second places to a win here today. And if he can get a high qualifying position, as he really has, but still a way to go, you're looking to get higher up on this grid. He's coming up the hill now. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead, won't affect him too much. Into the final chicane. Nicely taken there. A little bit of oversteer going through there, gets the DRS wide open and gets across with a 1:27.6. Improvement of over half a second there for John Boy. He's closed the gap to Anonymous, but can he find another effectively 7/10 of a second to get up there right by Anonymous and put some pressure on him? Anonymous is in a race of his own up there. That will be an in lap for him. So let's go down to see McLaren driver then of Nürburgring. Going through the first deck, a little wide on the second one. Lost a bit of time through there, and he does have a bit of traffic up ahead. Hopefully that won't cause him any problems. Although we did just... that was probably an installation lap. Well, he has done one lap, so he might be on an in lap, but he's in mode 5. That's where this rainbow has gone out again. So we'll switch over rainbow in a moment. Just someone behind Nürburgring has a little off. Yellow flags are waving as he's going up here. There's that person flop getting well out of the way. Hopefully he's not picked up too much damage getting out of the way. Nürburgring is obviously on a flyer and not taking the ideal line. Looked at a very defensive line for a race. Oh, I think that was an attempt to get in the pits and he's made a massive mistake. Fortunately, he's not out for his sake. But that looked like he attempted to get into the pits but carried too much speed through the chicane and has made an absolute mess. He's got 5 minutes now to get back to the pit, get a front nose on and get back out there. But getting back out there is Rainbow, currently in P17. Not set a time yet. He's had a few issues today and he's on a flying lap on the super softs. He'll be hoping to get back up there. He did get 3rd place in Britain, DNF'd in Germany and last time out in Belgium. He didn't start the race, was unable to make it, so he'll be looking to get a nice haul of points here today. In terms of weather, I don't actually know what's happening. I've not been informed by the weathermen, so it's a bit of a mixed bag for me, which does make it a little more interesting. Oh, bit of a corner cut. That's a bit of a corner cut there for Rainbow, and he's coming straight into the pits. Something's not working for him today. So Passanel is not facing the right way either, so not going well for him. A little reset to track to get himself back up and running. And he's back up, so Caplice down in 6th at the moment in the Haas. He's going very slow round here. I suspect he might have made a mistake if he's going this slow. He's in mode 1, so I don't think he's going to be on a flying lap. So let's have a look at Noosa. This is an installation lap, so he'll be starting a flyer on the softs. So his best is on the super softs, so it'll be interesting to see if he can better himself on the softs. Oh, I think that was an attempt to get in the pits, or was that just a massive oversteer? Either or, it was not the best way to start a flying lap. As he accelerates down towards turn 1 and 2, very wide there, and that might have been invalidated. Yes, I think it has. He's in mode 0, and he's made a mistake on the first corner. So let's go have a look at FKS. He's going to start a flying lap for us on the softs as well. Let's see if he does better than Noosa. DRS wide open, going down towards the first turn. FKS is, as I said earlier, is our championship leader, and that is not the way to take that first corner, and I think that might be invalidated as well. Interesting, he's still in mode 5, but then he doesn't have long. Although I thought you've got long enough to stick it into mode 0, get back and have another attempt, but he's not doing that. So they'll be down in P14 at the moment. the 131 dead, as Pindar gets a 5-second grip penalty for a collision. That is not going to help him, and it's going to promote a few people up. Honey Badger being on the receiving end of that punt, and Honey Badger is not on the track at the moment. So whether or not he's just been given a nice shunt. But Delby then coming up to start a flying lap. As Vidar has left or retired from the session. As Delby then does a flyer, is improved by a second. P12 then for him so far. He's got time to go again, as long as he's still got life left in these tyres. So let's go up to Necromonial Pug then. He's going to be starting a flying lap. He's got 1 minute 30 left on the time. Coming around the chicane now. Honey Badger has been disqualified from parking in a dangerous location. That's been promoted right to the back then. I think he might have been a little aggravated and he's by the collision that happened and has just parked up to have a little vent. As drivers getting well off the racing. Ooh, that was close. Necromonial Pug nearly collecting drivers as he's going through there. So let's see what he can do. His previous best was a 1:28.6, so he'll be hoping to improve. He is second place in the championship. And Anonymous and Jumboy are also out on track. Caplice is up there with a 1:28 dead, but he has put 2 laps on those super softs. And Grofus will not be coming out of the pits again, as we've got 30 seconds left of this session. Let's go on board there in Necromonial Park as he's closing down the car in front. Hopefully that won't give him too many problems as we start seeing people retire. Don't be too alarmed, it is people just retiring from the session, not via damaging themselves. So here we go, he's got a little bit of traffic. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream as well. There's Noosa in front of him. I'll say slipstream, I'm not sure. This is now well out of the way. Necromonial Park goes flying past him. So there we go, Rainbow has also finished his session up in P8, so Necromonial Pug will be coming across the line any moment now. Oh, sliding a bit there. And he does improve by 0.2. He's on 28.3 then, Necromonial Pug. Nice has also finished. Championship leader is not going to be setting another time. He'll be starting down there. Caplice is also coming in. Jumboy then coming up to the chicane now. Let's see what he can do. Can he close up and not overtake Anonymous at the top? And no, well off the pace there. Anonymous is on the other side of the track and he's retired from the session. So he's not going to be replaced at the top, most likely. No Brashhead as well, coming around. A lot of people going to be starting on those super soft. No Brashhead coming out to the final corner then, or final corners. Got a beat of 29.5, which was his previous. It's looking good, it's much better. It's a 28.8 P8 then for him. Rainbow has finished. They'll be coming around the final corner. He's in Mo 0. I suspect this is an in lap, and it is. Flop of the Flop also won't be setting it another time. So there we go, that is the end of the qualifying. Flop of the Flop won't be setting another time. He appears to run out of fuel on the other side of the track. So there we go, Anonymous taking home the pole position by 0.6 of a second in the end. Massive gap. Jumboy in second place. Caplice 1 second off the lead in fourth. Pass in fourth. Quite a distance there. It gets a little bit tight there. Look at that gap between Pass and Nibar, or Pindar, sorry. Is 1/1000th of a second. Very close. And further back you got FKS, the championship leader. I'm not sure why Flop is bothering to finish the lap. He could have just retired by now. Necromonial Pug, Noosa, Narash and Rainbow round out the top 10. Obviously there are going to be some penalties to be applied, which we'll have up in our screen in a moment's time. So just wait for all the drivers to get through the ready screen and then we'll be there. There you go, there's the confirmation of the qualifying and the penalties there. So Anonymous followed by Jumbo, Capais, Pass. Pidar is in 5th, but he'll lose 5 places, along with Nevershed. They'll also lose 5 places and drop down the order a little bit. So FGS getting a nice little jump up there. Rainbow's going to get a jump up as well, and JJS, so he'll get free choice of tyres, but starting the top 10, that'd be beneficial for him. And Honey Badger getting disqualified for parking in a dangerous location, but so we'll have a formation lap in a moment. That's not a screen that should have appeared. Looking quite cloudy. Don't think it's going to rain, but anything can happen with those big clouds in the sky. There's a few that look quite grey. Could just be quite overcast, but we shall see once we get into the race what actually happens. So just waiting now for all the drivers to get in the game, get themselves ready up and get on the grid. And if they could do that quicker, that would be great. There we go, so formation lap time. So quite professional obviously at this point. If you see people retiring, don't worry, or people getting disqualified, don't worry. They just go back to the grid. They don't go to the back of the grid, sorry. They just go onto the grid and they'll start from there. So there we go. Interesting that the people disqualified haven't actually lost grid places according to the screen on the left. That's, yeah, okay. So let's go on board here with Anonymous, warming up his tyres. Hoping for a enjoyable race here. It's a 27 lap race, 50% race. And yeah. So, as I said earlier, there are 3 tyre types, as with all the races at the moment. Supers, followed by softs, and then mediums, your harder compounds. If we have a look at the tyres, those starting on the super softs, we'll probably try and get to around lap 10, put on the mediums and then go to the end. Those on the softs, going to stop a little bit earlier, obviously because they're the harder tyres. They're going to go about 13 laps and then do mediums for 14. Obviously it's all down to individual drivers and how they actually can control their tyres. And yeah, so there are some 2-stop strategies there. I've got a supers followed by softs followed by supers. Going to be a little bit slower, as well as you've then got to compete with more cars. So if someone's going for that, they'll be doing 8, 11, 8 as their stints. And it is 100% possible to do it on the super soft tyres or for 2 stoppers, but it remains to be seen. Obviously you can't actually do super soft followed by super soft by super soft, but those starting on softs, if they have an incident early on, that is a possible strategy, and it is actually fastest of the 2-stop strategies. So just waiting now for all the drivers to get on the grid. Honey Badger will be the last man, I suspect, to get onto the grid in the Williams. There you go. So all on grid. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. A little slow start there from the Williams of Pasta NL. He's dropped right back. He's getting swamped by everyone, but Anonymous leads quite comfortably as they go 3 wide. There's contact, oh, massive contact further back as Debley is already out of the race. A little bit of contact there on the start. Some people went off the gravel. Noosa's dropped right down, and so is Small Children. I can't pronounce his first name very well, but he's dropped right down 8 places as well. But good gains there, as you can see, from Alpha Blue up 6 places, Popular Plop up 5 places, and Rainbow also up 5 places. You can see we're on board here with him now, and safety car has been deployed from that incident, which is good for those who've picked up a bit of damage earlier on. Whether or not it's going to change people's strategies, I doubt it, because it is a very early safety car. So, let's say, great start there from Rainbow. He's jumped right up, so just show the position changes there. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen. Rainbow gaining 5. Past NL getting a terrible start, dropping 3 places. So Caprice, our championship leader of FSK, up 3 places. Necromonic Pug up 3 places as well. Further back, you've got Plopper to Plop up 5, Alpha Blue up 6. Nusa, obviously the big loser, drops right to the back, but I suspect he does have damage and he will now get a chance to pit. Was he just avoiding? No, he does definitely just has damage. That front right is missing a lot of elements on it, as you can see just there. So he'll be diving straight in the pits. Let's see if anyone else dives in. There you go, Alpha Blue's diving in. Gryphus is in as well, and so is Nisa. Let's have a look at Alpha Blue, see if he picked up damage. Yeah, he's picked up damage as well. So they'll be happy to get this changed under safety car, which really benefits them. Nisa, as I say, picked up damage, and so did Gryphus. And looks like Nisa's going to come out at the back still. Alpha Blue holding on to his position. So obviously there's going to be no changes in orders for a little bit. So there's no point even looking actually. Let's look. No, there's no point looking at any information at the moment because they've not actually done a competitive lap. So let's just see. Oh, Alpha Blue losing it, and Rainbow's picked up a 5-second penalty. Alpha Blue's gone right off. Rainbow has retired from the session. Did he have a little issue there and went into the back of someone? There was a penalty being applied. I think he might have made a bit of a mistake, and that might have cost him the race, as he's actually left session almost immediately. Let's have a look, see where that was, see if we can see anything on board with Gryphus. He'll be the first man to pass Rainbow. See if we can see anything that gives away what happened. Nope, there's just no car at all. So I know you missed that, but unfortunately under safety car you get a lot of little nudges that cost you a lot of time. 5-second penalties. And we might see a few more. Hopefully the drivers are settling in now as we're going for another lap behind the safety car. Don't think it helped the Rainbow retiring in the middle of a safety car. I think Ericsson hit him. So Plopper to Plop has also pitted. Yeah, and he's got a 5-second penalty as well. They've gone from bad to worse for him. He's going to drop right to the back here. So he gets new nose. Obviously, contact with Rainbow is what's cost him that. And yeah, he's going to drop right to the back and have another 5-second penalty to boot. Alpha Blue's also pitted. As he picks up. Oh yes, he had an off, didn't he? So he picked up a front wing damage. I hope Force India have brought themselves a fair few wings today, because that's the third one to be fitted onto this car. And disqualified the session for ignoring a yellow flag, a place from P6, and he's been disqualified. That's big. Oh, and they're a little bunching up here going on. Place is moved off to the side. Nusu's sword had a little tiny collision there with Gryphus, but unfortunately has picked up a 5-second stop-go penalty for his troubles. This is the problem with safety cars, is that people accelerating and braking don't do it at the best places sometimes and catches people out. And you're going to pick up penalties. Gryphus getting very close there to the rear of Honey Badger. Hopefully we'll see the safety car come in this lap and we can get some racing going. Because so far there hasn't been that much. We've had more incidents under the safety car than actually in the race. As Honey Badger's run very wide there. And he's back on track. He's actually lost out of positions because he was overtaken while he's off the track. So safety car has not come in this lap, which I can't actually see the safety car. I've got a safety car warning on my screen, but can't actually see the safety car. And I suspect there might be a little issue with this lobby. The signs are still out. The screen says safety car. Unless the safety car went in and then came... I'm not sure what's happening, if I'm brutally honest with you. I think I've seen a bug like this before. And I'm not sure... Oh, there's the safety car. They've caught it back up now. Somehow it got very far away from them, which is odd. But we are on lap 4, of which everything bar the first few corners has been under safety car. So let's hope he goes in now when we can get under racing here in Japan. And hopefully no one else is going to pick up any more damage before we start racing. Or even just more penalties. So I've just looked up the stats from the earlier. It's the 1988 World Championship that Senna and Prost had a little collision. So it's obviously 89 they had the big collision down into turn 1. So, right, still out with the safety car. Looks like we're going to have another lap then. So those who are interested, Michael Schumacher is the repeat winner. Top, he's won it 6 times. Hamilton will look to beat that in this coming season, 2019, as he's on 5. Seb Vettel on 4, and there's a fair few who've got 2 wins to their name. Yeah, so still behind the safety car. Not the most exciting part of the race. Just trying to find out some more stats for you while we do it. McLaren have won this race 9 times. Most of anyone. Ferrari have won it 7 times. Mercedes with 5 times. Funny enough, oh, recently. 5 in a row they have. Yeah, so as I said, Suzuka is one of the old time tracks. It's not that old, but it feels that old. It's been around since 87, minus 2 years, sorry, in 07 and 08 where it went off to Fuji for a little bit. Oh, nearly coming together there from Necromanial Pug. As we're still waiting for this safety car to get off the track. More penalties being applied here. JSS with a 5-second stop go. And I'm running out of things to fill the time with at the moment. Yeah, so there was actually 2 races at Fuji, 76 and 77. Mario Andretti winning 76, James Hunt winning 77. There have been other races here, but not in the F1 series. Right, here's the safety car coming in. I think we would know by now. So oh, here we go. Safety car's coming in. Anonymous becomes the new safety car here and will look to back this pack up. And we can get some racing going. So we're going to be starting with lap 6. DRS won't be enabled for 3 laps. And Noose has picked up a penalty as well. And Anonymous is just set to go flying. Pack is packed up and he's off. DRS has been enabled. I thought we had to wait 3 laps, but obviously not. Can't be enabled already, can it? No. Oh, another 5-second there penalty for small children. So he's pitted just after the safety car's finished. That's unfortunate for him. Anonymous is still miles out at the front. Jumbo can't close him down. JSS disqualified for going the wrong way. He must have tried to go in the pits and missed. So, let's try and find some action. There's a big gap there between Greifus and Pass, forming of 2 seconds. Let's go on board with Xanax. He's on the rear of Alpha Blue. Alpha Blue looking to make a move on Popular Plop, going towards the Degners. Is he going to send one down the inside? No, he sits in behind. He's going to hold it for now. As he's got... Oh, Popular Plop runs a little wide. And Alpha Blue's been nudged ever so slightly. I think that was 100% Alpha Blue's mistake there. He got a little bit too racy. And Honey Badger is on the rear of him. don't think Alpha Blue picked up. I know he has. He's lost a lot of front right there. Honey Badger seems to be struggling with the connection issues here. He's just dropped back a bit. And let's have a look at Flop the Flop. He's lost out as well. So it's not going well for him. As up front, Anonymous has put up a 1.4 second gap already, and he's only just had one lap after the safety car came in. He's not even had a lap yet. Necromania Pug here on the rear of Jumboy. So this safety car would have changed up strategies quite a lot, as those on Supersoft will have not taken out too much life out of those tyres, so they all look to go a little bit longer, and they might even go long enough so they can put the softs on. Remains to be seen, as Paz has pitted, and Alpha Blue is also pitted. Obviously Alpha Blue with that damage. It's not going well for him today. This is now his fourth wing he's about to have. So let's have a look at the tyres. Oh, pit stops, that's a bit hit and miss at the moment. So tyres, so you can see the front three are all on the super softs. And let's have a drop back then to Noosa and Gryphus. Noosa, as said earlier, the winner last time out in Belgium, but he's currently down in P6. It's not been the best start of the race for him. Safety car has not helped. Well, and also at the same time has helped because he did pick up damage on the opening lap. So he's got those medium tyres on. They're not going to be the grippiest, but they're going to go long. And if you can make them go most of the way, you can put on a set of super softs towards the end and absolutely rinse them. Or you may fancy trying to go the whole way on the mediums. That remains to be seen. He's on the rear here of Gryphus, going up the hill towards 130R. Is he going to send it down the inside? He's looking alongside him. And he's made the pass before he even gets to the corner. That's a decent pass there. No DRS for him on that straight. And he's up into P5. Now DRS has been enabled. Oh, a little bit wobbly there from Noosa. Held it nicely. As Necromania Park is still here on the rear of Drumboy. Going through these lovely flowing S's. He's just dropped back a little bit there. He doesn't seem to get as much grip. Obviously the turbulent air coming off the back of the Renault is not helping Necromania Park with the grip. And yeah, so there's another close battle there. Let's have a look here. Xanax and Gryphus. 0.2 between them. Is he going to try and set it down the inside of the first sector? No, he backs off. He's going to hope Gryphus makes a mistake. Kicks up a bit of dust. But that's not a big enough mistake for Xanax to go for. And he's too far back to make a move at the hairpin. And now we go down this straight down towards the spoon curve. He's going to look to carry a bit of slipstream. And he's not going to be close enough to make a move. But hopefully he'll get a good drive off the last part of this spoon and get at him up the straight. He's gone very wide there. He's going to look to get that power down nice and early, as FKS has gone past Necromanial Pug and they're swapping up there. FKS obviously on those soft tyres, as it almost does go fastest with a 131.6, and Necromanial Pug has picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not going to help his day. Xanax now with DRS as he's hunting down Gryphus. Is he going to make a move? I think he's too far back, to be honest. He's right in the mirrors. Gryphus run wide. Oh, nearly contact there. Xanax getting well off the power at the right time to avoid the issue. So Necromania Pug put on set of mediums, down in P9 now. He's got a pass. Oh, he's battling with Honey Badger. Oh, Dennis is off the track. He's going to lose a bit of time there. Ooh, thought he was going to lose it there. Alpha Blue with the fastest time with 131.5. That's a decent lap there for him, especially on those softs. Hopefully this day he's going to start getting better, Alpha Blue. He's had a nightmare already today. If you look at the pit stops, he's had 3 pit stops already. We're only on lap 9. So Xanax there losing the back end. He's going to drop right back. As let's go have a look now at Honey Badger. Oh, Honey Badger's off. That's why he's dropping places. That's on the outside of the Dunlop curve, and he's dropped down to 13th. So he's going to have a little bit of dirt on the sides. He's going to have to be careful going through these corners not to light the rears up. And he's done well so far. As the front people pits, these super softs have run their course after 9 laps. And they're going for a set of mediums. They're going to be going to the end. FSK Aussie not pitting yet. He is on those soft tyres. So let's go on board with the previous race leader. Let's see where he comes out. It looks like he's going to come out right by Jumboy. Or Flop to Flop, sorry. Flop to Flop comes out right behind him. Good closing speed, but not enough. And I suspect Flop to Flop won't even have a chance to pass Anonymous. Anonymous is just much quicker than him. Even on these fresh, slightly cold tyres. And yeah, you can see that gap is already increasing. It was at 0.6 when he came out. It's already at 0.8. So let's move up back to this battle. What is currently for 3rd place between Xanax and Gryphus. Xanax obviously on the super softs. Oh, there's contact, and that's damage there. Unfortunately for Xanax, he just broke a little bit too late. And well, it almost plays into his hands because it's in his pit stop window if he wants to go onto the mediums. So he might just take advantage of that and get a pit. This Honey Badger has pitted as well down in 13th after his little off. He's going to be very much off the pace then. They're closing in on Xanax is Anonymous, effectively our provisional race leader. Although that will be worked out as we go. Anonymous is only 17 seconds now behind FKS at the front. And he's got that gap down to just over a second. As Xanax goes down the inside, he hasn't pitted, interestingly enough. And he's made that pass look easy. But he's gone very much off track. And he's going to let Gryphus back through. No, not enough room for Gryphus to get back at him. So Xanax with that damaged front wing, he's going to struggle through these corners as behind Anonymous wants to get back past these guys. Crucial for his strategy, he gets past these guys. So FSK can't extend his lead. And he's got past 1. Easy as you like there. I think Gryphus almost just led him through. Anonymous now on the rear. Xanax takes a little off. And he's going to lose out to Gryphus. No, Xanax is just on the power early enough. Gryphus not trying to attack there. Just needs to stay with these guys for as long as he can. As further back, Jumboy and Plopper the Plopper are starting to battle it out. The Renault teammates, is it going to be team orders here? And he's up into P6. Obviously he has stopped. Plopper the Plop has also stopped, but he might be looking to make another stop towards the end of the race. As there's battling going on ahead, Gryphus and Xanax. Xanax are on ride. Gryphus is going to have a better run into the corner, but he's lifted off a little bit there. That front wing of Xanax is costing him in issues. And he's staying out again. Gryphus is going to have a really good drive off the final corner. DRS. He sends it down the outside of turn 1. Which means Xanax is going to have the inside for both the first corners, and he slots in behind as Gryphus moves up into P4. Xanax tyres are starting to come towards the end of their life now. And he should do 11, but if you've got front wing damage, you might want to pit a little bit earlier than planned, just to take care of that. As Jumboy's now got onto the rear of this. There's a yellow in sector 2. I'm not sure who's had a little off there. We're in sector 2. And Xanax picking up the first penalty for track limits. Is Jumboy going to send one down the inside? No, he doesn't. Jumboy looking now to go round the outside here at turn 12. He will have the inside when they get to Spoon. And he's going to look to make this move. And I think that's pretty much a done deal as Xanax runs wide with that front wing damage. And Jumboy is up now to P5. He's got a lot of work to do to catch up Anonymous, who's, as I say, provisional pro leader as FSK, sorry, has pitted from pole, from P1. So Noosa takes over provisional lead for now. Anonymous is flying with a 1:31.1 as he will be hunting down Noosa. Noosa, who has pitted, and I think it might be a little bit too much to ask for him to take those tyres to the end of the race, but he will have a chance to put on a set of super softs and set the timing boards alight. So Xanax has pitted, he's going to pick up that new Nosco. Novash has also pitted mediums for them as well. So Alpha Blue is the only one on track who's not on mediums. As Caprice, who was disqualified earlier, has left the session. So let's have a look back at John Boy. Oh, batting all over the rear Gryphus here. Gryphus finds himself a little out of position at the moment, and that is big contact. That's John Boy getting frustrated and just not making the corner as well as he could. He might have picked up a little bit of damage as well for his troubles. Actually, looking at that wing, he might have escaped. So they go past Honey Badger. Yeah, that contact hasn't cost John Boy anything. He's managed to get away with that. That's good news for him. As further back, Necromanial Pug and Pass going side by side into Spoon. Necromanial Pug is going to look to get a good drive out this final corner and up towards the chicane. He's in the slipstream. Obviously only one DRS section on this lap, and it is on the home straight. It's not even that long. Oh, a little bit of contact, big contact, and they are both out. That is massive contact there. Necromanial Pug just getting a little bit too racy onto the rear of Pass and taking them both out. So we are now down to 11 drivers. It's nearly a case of finish the race and get points, as big gaps are starting to form all over the place now, as we're starting to run out of drivers to fill those gaps. Novash has pitted. He's only just pitted. He's obviously not enjoying those mediums, or maybe he's picked up a little bit of damage to that front wing. Can't tell from these camera angles that we get given. And oh no, he's serving a penalty. So there we go, serving his penalty, getting on a set of softs, sorry. And yeah, we might be trying to take those towards the end of the race. Be a bit of a stretch, but should be possible. As yeah, there's not a lot of close racing going on at the moment, so let's have a look. Just try to keep an eye on those gaps, see if any start coming down quickly. Might be worth going to watch. Honey Badger, despite the fact that he is well off the pace, could get points here today. If one more driver retires, that's not him obviously, he could pick up a point, and he'll be well chuffed with that. He's had an absolute nightmare of a race. So Necromanial Pug was P2 in the championship. Could lose out here as John Boy is only 6 points behind him. So he'll be hoping to get a nice haul of points and move himself up. Carrying P4, he does get 12 points. Yeah, so let's have a look at race leader Noosa. Noosa coming around the Degners. So there's not a lot to watch at the moment on track. Just keeping an eye on that gap between Plop to Plop and Gryphus. Actually, let's go to it. That's starting to come down a bit. Both on rather old medium tyres. They can do nearly 20 laps. And Plop to Plop has that gap down to under 2 seconds now, as he is hunting down Gryphus. Gryphus, who's not looked to be on form here today. I think he might be having a little bit of connection issues. But he has had a podium here. Podium at Germany, so 2 races ago. But it's just not looking like his day out there today. It's coming now down towards the Spoon corner. And Anonymous is starting to close in on Noosa as well. Noosa's obviously rather old tyres, but he'll be looking to pit in probably about 3 to 4 laps time, I'd thought. Put on a set of supers and go flying. Same will apply for Gryphus and Plopper to Plop, I suspect. as that gap is, as Rifus has pitted, so that might be a little early for Supersofts, but I think he was going to go for it. 11 laps, they can do 11 laps. No, he's going for softs, conservative. So let's go up to Anonymous, currently 1.5 seconds behind Noosa. Noosa's obviously on those 14 lap old mediums, Anonymous on 6 lap old mediums. And yeah, he's closing him down. And there's a yellow in sector 1. So that gap is starting to come down again. Will Anonymous be able to get into the DRS zone before the home straight? I think he will. He's just going to have more grip coming off corners like this. The gap sets at 1.1 seconds. So he's hunting him down still. Let's see. No, he's not going to get DRS here. He's just a bit off him. So, exactly 1 second now behind. Let's just cross the start-finish line. Let's have a quick look at the fastest lap so far. So, Anonymous obviously taking that comfortably with a 1:31.1. Also in 1:31, so you've got FSK with a 1:31.4. Alpha Blue with a 1:31.5. And Nova Shed with a 1:31.8. So, decent time there from him. Noosa's obviously been on these mediums for pretty much the entire race. So, he's did a 1:32.1, 1:32.4, my apologies. As that gap now is less than a second, Anonymous is going to look to hunt him down even more. You can smell the exhaust off that Red Bull. A little look up there from Noosa. As Alpha Blue has pitted once again. I hope for Alpha Blue's sake that is not through damage. Just have a quick look at him. I didn't quite catch that. That's annoying. So let's go back to Anonymous then. His teammate up in P2 on the rear here now of Noosa, going up the long back straight. Going to take the outside of 130R, but he already has that place. So is Noosa going to put on a set of supers and go flying? Or is he going to do another lap? We shall see in a moment. Yep, that is a pit. Ooh, that's a risky pit. And he's picked up a 5-second penalty for it. He's a little too enthusiastic going into the pits there. And he's already serving another 5-second penalty by those things. So I don't think that is the one he's just got. So super softs there for the Red Bull driver. Hopefully he saved a bit of fuel now. He can just put his foot down and go flying. Flop and Flop is also pitted, so he'll be looking to put supers on. And Cyrenis is going to come out right by the Mercedes driver. Mercedes driver goes flying past. That's not the Mercedes driver. There's the Mercedes driver in front of Noosa. So that's a bit unfortunate for him, but that's a very good. That might be a let pass there from Pidar. Yeah, Flop and Flop also putting on those supers. Pidar appears to be struggling on his mediums. So Flop and Flop is going to come out and he could be taken by Xanax. Xanax goes around the outside and does. But he runs wide at the same time. Flop and Flop is going to come back. No, he's not. Thought he was going to take him there, but he's on these brand new super softs and Xanax won't be able to hold him up for too long. He'll just fly straight past him. Let's keep an eye on Noosa's gap to leader, 26.8 at the moment. See if that starts tumbling. If that starts tumbling, then we might have a race on our hands for the win. As Flop and Flop is really struggling by the looks of things. This tyre is obviously not heating up as quickly as he liked. It's always the problem. As soon as you come out of these pits, those tyres need to be switched on. By switched on, I mean they need to be warmed up to the ideal temperature. As further back, Nova Shed is on the rear of Alpha Blue. Or is Alpha Blue just moving away? I think he might be on the rear of him. Yeah, these gaps hanging around 0.7 of a second. 16 seconds between these two sets of drivers though. Flop then on the rear. Looking, but not finding. Let's go back to the gap to the leader. It's Nisa's 25.6 seconds behind Anonymous, as these super softs are probably up to operating temperature. And Flop is going to... No, he's not. I thought he was going to go down the inside there. But just no space. Zanix runs a little bit wide, which is going to make a little mess for the next one. And fortunately for him, he's held off Flopper for now. But for how long, we shall see. Mirrorshed has fallen off the back of Alpha Blue. So let's have a quick look. There you go. Alpha Blue's had 4 pit stops, 3 pit stops for Nevershed, 2s and 1s for everyone else. Obviously, with all these people crashing out, there's been a lot of good position changes. Only 2 people so far have lost the place that are going to finish the race. That's Jumboy currently in P3 and Nevershed in P10. But as it stands, I think they'll just be happy to finish the race. Noosa going fast, is 1:30 dead, as he's hunting now down an almost 7 laps to go. As that gap is 24.3 seconds. But he still has cars to pass, which may cost him in the long run. Flopper's looking, no, not this time. Gonna have DRS though on the home straight. DRS wide open in slipstream. This should be an easy one. He pulls out and takes it. Up to 7th then for Flopper. As he's 7 seconds behind Greifer, so you might fancy that gap. Yeah, Greifer's on those softs, won't be losing too much time to him. So, next battle, still really this one at the moment. Just keeping an eye, as always, on that time between Noosa and anyone else. He's 23.2 behind Anonymous. Might be too little too late. And Zanix is going to hope that he can close in, but I suspect he won't be able to close in on Flopper. No, that gap is at half a second. Zanix can stick with him up through these sections. He will get DRS, which is going to benefit him, but I suspect he won't have enough to pass. Although, saying that, that slipstream is mighty. Is he going to have a look down the inside? He has a look down the outside, if anything. I say he will all have DRS, but yeah, Flopper just gets a mighty drive off the corner with the grippier tyres, so Zanix won't do much here. Flopper runs a little bit wide. As this race is starting to get into towards the end, gaps are, as I said earlier, gaps are really starting to appear now, and things are starting just to calm down. And I suspect we won't be getting any rain because it was a little bit too late for that. Zanix is holding on to the back here, as Flopper is charging after Gryphus, but 6 seconds is the gap. I think that's going to be too big to close unless Gryphus has a little mistake. But Nisa's gap to Anonymous is at 23 seconds. That's pretty much done for. But I mean, even the gap to Jumboy might be too big. We'll keep an eye on it. It's at 5.1 seconds now. It is coming down, but is it going to come down enough that Nisa can make a move and get onto the podium here today? Zanix is running really low on ERS, which is interesting. Obviously fighting to try and close down Flopper. he's had to stick it into mode 1. He's got 6% left in the tank. I was going to get a bit through the slower corners where he's got a chance to brake. But I suspect this gap is a done deal. This battle is a done deal. So let's go back up to Noosa on the super soft as he's hunting down Jumboy. 4 seconds now. We're on lap, well, coming to the end of lap 22, and now we're starting lap 23. The race leader has. The gap is still at 4 seconds. And you can actually see Jumboy in front of him. Jumboy on 13 lap old mediums. He's going to really be starting to struggle for grip, possibly on the last lap or two. As Honey Badger has pitted once again. So that gap between Noosa and Jumboy has gone up a bit as well now. It's at 4.1 seconds. And yeah, so we're starting to come towards the end of the race, and there's not a lot of action to comment on, unfortunately. So we're still here with Noosa as he looks to hunt down Jumboy. But he needs to gain. Oh, that's not going to help him. He needs Jumboy to make mistakes like that. So 4 seconds, and he needs a second a lap, really. And I don't think he's going to get it. Let's go on board with Jumboy and see how he's handling. See if these tyres are starting to give him some issues. Get a good idea through 130R of how these tyres are handling. And not even lifting through there. Jumboy just looks cool, calm and composed. And thankfully I didn't just jinx him, because I've seen people lose it on that corner many a times. I wouldn't be surprised if the race finishes as it is at the moment, with not many more changes to happen. Noosa just needs Jumboy to make just a little off, pick up some dirt. Anonymous quite comfortably out in the lead. He's got a 6.8 second lead over FSK. Jumboy's 11.6 seconds off second place, so that's not going to be happening. Noosa's got the gap down to 3.6, 3.4. Jumboy making a little mistake in the middle of the Degners. But Noosa's just unable to close down. When I say that, it drops even more, so at 3.2 now. What he really needs now is a back marker to slow up Jumboy. But I don't think he's going to get it. Yeah. Noosa just keeps going off onto that grass, which is costing him time. Got to be careful there. Ooh, a little bit of back end sliding through the turn 18 there for Noosa. It's at 3.1 seconds. We're on lap 25 of 27. And yeah. So Pidar further back has done 19 laps on the mediums, as I must have missed that one. Alpha Blue and Nurashed have swapped places. Just got on board here with Alpha Blue. Alpha Blue's have not had the best day today, so many pit stops. As Honey Badger has DNF'd, I think that might be just retired from session. Alpha Blue half a second behind. Coming up to, oh, Nurashed running a little bit wide. Oh, good closing speed there from Alpha Blue, right on the rear there of the McLaren driver. He's going to get DRS to boot. And he should have this, he's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS. And he's got the move made. Up to P9 then for Blue Alpha. And Nobrashev picks up a 3-second penalty. Just ran a little bit wide there. Alpha Blue is showing on my screen to have a super soft, although all the other information shows softs. And I think if those were super softs and they're on 12 laps, he might be struggling. Doesn't seem to be struggling. So that move looks like a done deal. So we're on lap 26 now, 27. As Anonymous actually closing in on those two. So they are going to potentially be lapped. And oh, John Boy's on the rear of FKS. FKS must have made a mistake. He's fallen right off the pace. John Boy's right at his rear. Oh, bit of contact there. Oh, quite a substantial amount of contact. Hopefully no one's picked up damage from that. And I've just seen FSK has no front wing. He must have made a huge mistake. And Noose has joined the battle. We've got a race on our hands, boys. Saving the best to last here. FKS has picked up damage. That's meant he's dropped back. And Noosa is going down the inside spoon. And that is an easy move. But Noosa is now really close onto the back of John Boy. As you might have heard, I just suddenly sat very upright as this has just got exciting. As they are going to start their final lap in a moment. As Noosa got anything left on those tyres or in that fuel tank. He's not got a red fuel warning as yet. Or even a yellow one, nor has John Boy. And Noosa's got that gap down to 1 second. No DRS sections left for him now. As FSK has pitted. That's an interesting pit. He's going to lose out 5th place. Noosa now 9 laps into these supers. Closing in on John Boy. Let's just have a look and see. John Boy did contact. I don't think he's got any damage. Noosa's got that gap down to 0.6 of a second now. Going through the Degners. Very aggressive there from Noosa. As these tyres are still okay, but they've had a good run out of 9 laps. He's got to stay with him through the section, and then after the spoon will be his pretty much the last overtaking opportunity. Up the back straight through 130R and that braking point before the chicane. Is Noosa going to be close enough? Is the big question. Is he going to get P2 out of this? Further upfield, Anonymous has a 20-second lead. He can almost just reverse over the line now. He's that far ahead. Noosa is half a second behind. He's got the slipstream. He's going to be using everything this car's got. Is he going to send it? He's looking around the outside. John Boy with a very aggressive on the first corner, but sorry. John Boy will take home P2, will he? Yes, he will. And Noosa does have a 5-second penalty, so even through that, he's ended up 10 seconds behind John Boy. Coming around in 4th place at the moment. Obviously, we don't know penalties here. Is the small children. It's going to bring home 4th place. Decent result. Picked up a 5-second penalty. FSK might have a chance, but he's 15 seconds behind. We'll see when he crosses the line. No, he's only 2 seconds behind him. Gryphus then in P6. Not the best race for him, but he'll be happy with a decent haul of points. 8 points he's getting for this one. Unless there's penalties to be applied. Flop then. Basting still with Xanax. And Flop 7th, Xanax 8th. So Alpha Blue will be the last man to cross the line. So it's not been his race. As you can see from the pure amount of stops, he's made 4 stops today. And just through unlucky, bit of contact here and there. And he had a fair few wing changes to boot. And there we go. There's your podium. Force India very happy to be on top. And yeah, So let's have a quick rundown of the final positions. There you go, Anonymous taking home P1 from Jumboy. Noosa with that 10-second penalty, meaning his battle with Jumboy was all for now, really, in the day. Small children in the Mercedes, 13 seconds penalty for him, but he brought home P4, we'd be happy with that. FSK had that contact on the second to last lap, was running P2, unfortunately ended up P5. So not good news for him. P6 went to Gryphus, Plop to Plop behind him, and Xanax, Alpha Blue, and Nubershed running out your top 10. Everyone else unfortunately did DNF, so Honey Badger, Necromonial Pug, and Pass had a little coming together. Rainbow also retiring, and then Debly, JJS, and Caplice. Caplice and JJS also getting disqualified. Caplice, I can't remember what happened, but JJS, I remember, was going backwards on the track. So that is the end of the race. Thank you all for joining me for the round 5 of the Formula Racing League. Next week we'll be in Italy. So classic track followed by classic track. Makes for some great racing, hopefully. So join me then, same time next week.